Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Coming up this week, the slowest news week we have had in years. Don't believe me? We're going to talk about the new guest experiences coming to Aulani, new costume guidelines for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, and a new Swan Dolphin promotion. Brace yourself. Like I said, slow news week. But we will make up for it. We're going to be talking live with Tom Bell, the host of the Disneyland edition of the Diz Unplugged. He is in the Disneyland park right now. We'll be talking to him in just a little while. And Oliver, Craig, Rhino, and Teresa are going to give their impressions of this year's Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. All that coming up next. From the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida, this is the Diz Unplugged. This is the Diz Unplugged, episode 907 for the week of September 6th, 2016. The Diz Unplugged is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel, experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney vacation. Visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show, coming to you live from the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida. I'm your host, Pete Werner, joined at the table this week by my good friends John Magi.
Hi, everybody.
Kevin Close.
Hello.
Teresa Eccles.
Hey.
Rhino Clavin.
Hello.
And back in the production nook, our associate producer, Oliver Green.
Hello.
Along with our producer, Craig Williams.
Hi, all.
Well, it is great to be back home after a lovely 11 days. And, well, it was 11 days for me. It was like 6.5 months for John and Kevin.
Felt that way.
Over in Europe, we just finished up our Dreams exclusive ABD Alpine Magic tour, and it was something, folks.
Incredible doesn't even do it justice.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
I think that we use the word awesome a lot.
Yeah.
And we can say awesome because the french fries were hot at McDonald's. We saw the Matterhorn, and in the truest sense of the word, it was awesome.
And yeah, the word awesome was used quite a bit. The word epic was thrown around more than once. Breathtaking. I think that was me just clutching my pearls. Oh, breathtaking. But it was amazing. And we're not going to go into an awful lot of it here. We're going to save that for an upcoming episode of the Dreams Unlimited Travel podcast. We're going to talk all about this amazing Northern Italy and Switzerland trip that you can do.
It's going to be a 72-hour show because we're going to show all of Pete's photos of the Matterhorn.
All 1,500.
He took every picture possible of the Matterhorn.
Well, you just
couldn't help it.
You couldn't help it, and B, you don't know if you're ever going back. So you want to make sure you got that one money shot, and I got about 10. So
Also, the Matterhorn is the moodiest thing I've ever seen.
yeah.
Some minutes it was very, very dark and covered with clouds, and you couldn't even see it. And the next thing, it was bright and shiny and looked like somebody
It's going through menopause.
It must be.
Well, you guys got lucky. From what I hear, the Matterhorn, most of the time, it's never visible.
It's hard to, a lot of
clouds.
times. We had some days, just pretty much the entire time we were there, at most times, it was visible.
Yeah.
The last morning we were there, it was crystal clear.
We woke up one morning and the Matterhorn was gone. It was completely fogged in or clouded in. You couldn't even see it. And then minutes later, everybody was out on the balcony screaming, "Are you out here? Are you out here?"
But that last day, the way the sun hit the top of it, you know those Matterhorn macaroons we made on the show some time ago where it's the shape of the Matterhorn and then you dip it in the top of it in melted white chocolate? It looked like that. It was like the top of it was like brilliantly illuminated and the rest of it was dark just from where the sun was hitting it. So it kind of looked like a Matterhorn macaroon because I have to bring everything back to that. But
I can do the same thing because we were sitting on our balcony and somebody said to me, "Oh, that's the Matterhorn is on the Toblerone box." I said, "Yes, but this isn't the view of the Matterhorn that's on the Toblerone box." And they just looked at me and said, "Why?" I said, "Trust me, you're asking the chubby boy what's on the Toblerone box." So when we went up to the mountain and saw it from the other side, I said, This is the view of the Matterhorn on the Toblerone box." You're just going to have to trust me, I know.
So speaking of the Dreams Unlimited Travel show, that is every Monday, youtube.com/Dreams Unlimited Travel or disunplug.com, where you can find all our shows. What is this Monday's show about?
This past week, yesterday, we did our first in a series on Universal Orlando Resort. We talked a little bit about an overview, comparing to Disney, appropriate for kids. We had a lot of questions about younger kids going. And then this upcoming week, we focus on the resorts. So, big shows coming up.
Awesome. And also every Monday, disunplugged.com, the Disneyland edition of the Dis Unplugged with our own Tom Bell and his team. This week, listener Matt, who I guess doesn't have a last name. It's like Cher. So Matt returns from his first trip to Disneyland and shares his thoughts with the Disneyland team. So that's what's on this week's show that went up yesterday, the Disneyland edition. Of course, every Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time live, disunplugged.com, the Universal edition of the Dis Unplugged with your host, Craig Williams, and backup singers Rhino Clavin and Oliver Green. And I know you've pre-recorded the show because we're going to be doing stuff this week. So what is your show this week, Craig?
Yeah, this week we actually have a really great interview talking about preparing for your Halloween Horror Nights trip with Christopher Ripley, the author of the unofficial guide to Halloween Horror Nights. And the interview was brilliant. He knows so much about the event. He was able to share a ton of the history behind it and a little bit of secrets here and there. So I know we were all just kind of mouths dropped the entire time hearing these little tidbits.
The feedback from these guys after you guys recorded that show was that like it might be like among, if not your best show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm kind of excited to see this. So
yeah, I'm very excited to put it out there. So it'll be available Thursday at 1 o'clock.
Not
Again,
to like
live.
plug his book or anything, but you're going to watch this show, and I'm telling you right now, you're going to want to immediately like order this guy's book and read it because it's very, very interesting.
Yeah, the one thing I got from it is like this guy, he knows his stuff and he's done the research. He's not just gone online and like, you know, regurgitating the stuff that's already out there. Like he has found his sources. He's really, really good show.
And what's the name of the book?
I don't have the official name of it. It's the unofficial guide to Halloween Horror Nights, 2016 edition. He also has one from last year, but it's got great.
The Complete Survivor's Guide to Universal Orlando's Halloween Horror Nights 2016 is the most current one.
Yeah, and he's got great information coming from like Jason Sorrell, who, before he was a Disney Imagineer, he actually got started at Universal working on Halloween Horror Nights. Just a bunch of great people who are involved in the event. J. Michael Roddy, who now is a Disney Imagineer. They just bounce back and forth. But really, really great interview. So you should look forward to that.
Awesome. And of course, every Friday-ish, disunplug.com, Dispop with Rhino Clavin and sometimes other people. Any idea what you're going to do this week?
Well,
It's going to be hard.
Yeah, I know. I don't know that there's going to be video this week because there was if you missed it, I put up the do-it-yourself Halloween costume for anybody.
It was awesome. It was such a good show. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, anybody that's going to Mickey's Not So Scary or you're on a time crunch or anything like that, I tried to gear this toward that sort of a thing. So it's people on a budget, people on a time constraint, or people just like homemade costumes like I do. So definitely check that out. And then I think I'll put up an audio episode where myself and whoever wants to join me, because we'll all be together for a while, where we talk about maybe our essential viewing for the Halloween season. Like what's our top 5 favorite things to watch, like a must watch for us personally before Halloween rolls around, because I believe somebody requested that. So
awesome.
I thought that would be fun.
Cool. All right. That will be Friday-ish.
Yeah. That'll probably actually be Friday this week. So.
Disunplugged.com. All right. Anything else in housekeeping?
Oh, I have one thing. I just got a letter from Chris Jones in the mail, and thank you for this. It was very touching. It's spelled with a K. It might be a girl. Chris has just come across our podcast, and so they haven't been a listener for very long, but they watched our one about the shooting. So it's a nice letter reaching out and just, support. So I appreciate that.
It's very nice.
There's still, people are still coming, that people are still being touched by that, So
Awesome. How about you, Teresa? How are you, honey?
I'm fine.
Very, very Halloween.
I know. I thought I'd go for
The orange and black. Very,
orange
very
and
cool.
black, yeah. I'm cool. I'm good. I got nothing. No housekeeping.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Your house is clean.
My house is actually clean.
All right, then, if there is...
So much fun. Wasn't that fun, guys? That was great.
I laughed. I cried.
I missed you,
I
John.
cried. It was better than cats.
You know what? I do have housekeeping.
Are you unbuttoning your shirt?
Yeah, what's going on here?
You keep it in your cleavage, do you?
John's back. The fun goes out the door.
For those of you listening, Teresa's top is off.
Right? It's a little warm in here. Maybe
Teresa's
that's
gone wild.
All right, then we will throw it over to Johnny with the news.
All right.
For what it is, for what it's worth.
You know, it may not be an interesting news week, but I want to thank Craig for picking the first story with all these Hawaiian words in it.
Oh, you're very
Oh,
welcome.
yeah, I read that.
Jerk. New guest experiences coming to Aulani. New experiences are planned to begin in November at Aulani as the resort celebrates its 5th anniversary. Kai Va'ea, a luau at Aulani, features a buffet of island specialties, live music, and traditional Hawaiian dance. Guests can learn the hula kahika and the modern hula awan before the luau begins.
Can you show us the difference?
I don't think he's putting emphasis on the right.
Syllable?
The emphasis is on the wrong syllable.
Could be on my brain. Before the luau begins, families can do activities, crafts, and enjoy pre-show entertainment.
Ooh, it sounds like Diz Pop.
It does, yeah. It's actually a Hawaiian sponsored show this week.
Moana, the title character from the upcoming film, Moana, will begin a meet and greet in November as well. She is, quote, an adventurous teenager who, with the help from demigod Maui, sails out on a canoe for a daring mission to prove herself a master wayfinder and save her people. The Disney Parks blog explains that both of these experiences honor Hawaii's, quote, deep cultural roots in canoe exploration, a voyage which brought Hawaiian ancestors to the beautiful Iwa Loa Plains surrounding the Aulani Resort. There's more to the story, but I'm not going to read it. Because it's about a canoe.
We might have people
Oh
who
my
are
god, I was going to say
fascinated.
really terrible.
Say it.
It's like, can you read that for us? You asked me
Okay,
to
let's
say
vote.
it.
You want to vote him off the island?
I do. I need that thick paper and that pen so I can write his name down
And then hold it up.
and spell it wrong. Are we having our own little thing here? Is that what we're doing?
I guess so. I'm checking in for my cruise.
And that's the theme of the show, guys. There you go.
Yeah.
I think
Listen.
it's great. Here's the deal. Alani's awesome. I don't care what you do. You can add characters. You can add experiences.
Well, you know, here's
Doesn't bother me.
here's the thing with this stuff, and we've talked about this before on the show. In all seriousness, the reason they are having to do this stuff is because they didn't expect people to spend as much time at the resort as they do. They thought, you know, okay, yeah, people will come and they'll like it and they'll spend some time here, but they're going to want to go out and explore the island. They don't understand Disney fans. You know, you've got people that have been coming to Walt Disney World for 25 years that have never left Disney property. And, you know, Aulani is such an amazing destination in and of itself.
You don't
that
want to leave.
You don't want to leave. You really don't. And so they are constantly, they have had to do so much, so many additions to the physical property in terms of adding a pool, adding dining locations, you know, in increasing services, enhancing services, doing stuff like this, all because they need to be giving people. This is not about necessarily enticing people to come stay. This is about giving people who are there something else to do, because everybody wants to hang out. So I think it's a good problem to have, and they handle it brilliantly.
I also think it's very Disney. It's a very Imagineering. It's tying in all of their properties. The synergy between a new movie and a new character, and
Well, this fits
Aulani.
for her. You
Right.
know, this is where she.
I'm putting in. I have to put in my a credit card number. What's your credit card?
You don't know it by heart? All right, our
I
second.
do.
Teresa does. Our second.
We're gonna do that as a giveaway. Yeah. We'll do like some kind of contest. We'll give away John's credit card number.
Our second news story: updated costume guidelines for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Disney has updated their costume guidelines this year for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party as an added security measure. For all guests, Disney reserves the right to deny admission or remove any person wearing attire that is considered inappropriate or that could detract from the experience of other guests. All guests may dress as their favorite character. All guests may dress as their favorite character. Who wrote this?
Say it again.
But may not pose for pictures or sign autographs for other guests.
That happened when we were there. That red guy from Star Wars was sitting next to me.
What's his name?
It's something about the mall.
Darth Maul of Millennia.
Darth Maul.
Darth Maul of Millennia. That should be like one of those Wheel of Fortune puzzles.
Really? Before and after.
Before
And
and
people
after.
came over because his costume, I guess, was really good.
Very good.
I don't know if I saw that one, but he was taking pictures with kids and they freaked out. Not the kids.
Yeah, they don't want that.
That's true. Costumes must be family friendly and may not be obstructive, offensive, objectionable, or violent. Costumes may not contain any weapons that resemble or could easily be mistaken for an actual weapon. Costumes may not contain sharp objects, pointed objects, or materials that may accidentally strike another guest. And guests who do not adhere to these guidelines
They can't have any fun.
Really? Guests who do not adhere to these guidelines may be refused entry into or removed from the parks unless the costume is modified. For guests ages 13 and under, costumes and some masks may be worn as long as the mask does not cover the entire face and the eyes are visible, because the eyes are the windows to the soul. For guests ages 14 and older, layered costumes or costume props that surround the entire body are strongly discouraged and may be subject to additional security screening.
What was that? That don't surround
Costumes
the entire body?
that surround the entire body are strongly
So your
discouraged.
idea to wrap Stella up in saran wrap and tinfoil and pass
not
that
gonna
off as a
Fried green
Halloween
tomatoes
costume is just not okay.
Costumes may not reach or drag on the ground.
See, now that just screws me up completely, because then I can't wear the dress I wanted to wear.
That's what
That
all
is
of us
beautiful.
wear.
This
What's
beautiful
behind you?
gown.
Who cares it?
It's a beautiful embroidered bride's gown you had. Capes may be worn if the length does not go below the waist.
No capes.
Only shorty capes, apparently.
Shorty capes.
Themed
Capelets.
t-shirts, blouses, sweatshirts, and hats are acceptable. Acceptable accessories include transparent wings, plastic lightsabers, toy swords, and tutuses. Oh, tutus.
No, I read Tutuses too. That's
You
why.
read
Yeah, I
Tutuses?
was like, "What is this thing?"
Oh my god.
I couldn't figure out what it was because it's lumped in with weapons.
Have we not
So-
learned anything?
Oh, peg wings are not allowed?
No, acceptable accessories include transparent wings.
I had
tutus.
You
opaque
had
wings.
I got poked
non-transparent
with
wings.
a wing the other night.
I had my wings were not see through, but they didn't come past my shoulders.
Did you have wings?
Yeah, the back of my costume. He's a dragon. I had made
Oh, I
wings.
didn't see the back of your costume.
Wait a minute. He's a dragon. Headwear may be worn as long as it does not cover the face, and you may not wear masks of any kind. So there you go.
Remember the 60s when you had those plastic masks that would come down and cover your whole face and only had the two little eye holes you could never really see out of?
Your entire face sweat the entire time you're trick-or-treated.
Okay.
And then that flammable rayon costume that tied at your neck.
I did not know where
awesome.
Teresa was going. Remember the 60s? Are we done with that one?
I hope so.
All right. Story number 3. Walt Disney World Swan and Dolphin Resort announced new...
That, for those, just before we start, that is, well, you need to know the story, but for the visual
what the
listeners,
hell's up with that?
That's Craig at the Swan and Dolphin, looking presidential, which actually goes with the story. So.
Which president?
Yeah. What the hell? I can't unsee the leg.
If it makes you feel better, I can switch it to that one. That was the original.
like
there you
that one
go.
Presidential of what?
The local.
You two were just having fun. Let's go on with the story. What is it? Tell us.
Walt Disney World Swan and Dolphin Resort announced new presidential promotion. The Walt Disney World Swan and Dolphin Resort is electing a candidate for a, presidential vacation in honor of the upcoming U.S. election. One, candidate will be selected to stay in one of the resort's 12 presidential suites,
Shreech.
which have
Swans?
which have actually hosted President George H.W. Bush and President Bill Clinton, not at the same time. The winner,
Well, with Clinton, you never know.
The winner can bring along 4 cabinet members.
Oh,
I can't do the air
This is
quotes anymore.
tortured. This is just
I'm
torture.
dying here.
Cabinet member.
Do you hear the noise? That's people's heads hitting their desk.
I don't believe that's true. I would keep
I'm
doing the
ready to
quotes
go
when I'm
on.
getting a cramp. Winner can bring along 4 cabinet members on their 3-day, 2-night term. Complimentary transportation from the airport will be arranged, and they will be greeted with a red carpet welcome and a personal escort to the suite.
Like a real
an
presidential
escort.
candidate.
Like Air Force
In the
One.
Bill Clinton suite.
No. The resort's award-winning pastry chef, Laurent Blanc, will create a special treat for the suite, and the candidate's victory can be celebrated with a state dinner with a $250 dining certificate that can be used at any of the resort's restaurants.
They're really there. That many quotes because I read
It really
the
is.
story.
It is,
Like,
huh?
yeah. There's a lot of air quotes.
The winner and their guests will also receive 2-day Walt Disney World Park Hopper tickets. To enter the contest, you must sign up on their website by November 8, 2016. The winner will be announced on November 9th. The same day, the announcement is made about our country's next president.
Oh, my.
God have mercy on our souls.
Wow.
All right, next time I'm picking the news story.
There was
No, it really was. I mean, it was bad. It was bad this week. We really just didn't have anything.
That's good. Nothing bad happened.
Well, it's good nothing bad happened.
Usually
It's
it's
sad
just
nothing,
death and mayhem.
it's sad nothing good happened either. So, because it's like I'm dying here right now. You guys are going to have to talk an awful lot about this Halloween party because we're done with news and housekeeping and it's 20 after. And normally we're not done with news until about 20 of. So you're going to have to do a lot of slow talking. Not hard for
We
Craig.
still have rapid fire.
Some vamping.
And we're going to talk. Thank you, John. Thank you for the news.
That'll do it for the news.
We are actually going to bring in our very own lovely and talented. And I'm going to talk slow now because someone wasn't ready.
As if this might save the show.
Can we tell him what to do like we did with Oliver?
Yes, you can. Please do. This-
He's in the parks now.
Is it Tom?
He's in Disneyland. We just got to get him on FaceTime.
Can I leave while Tom's
If I was back there, I would have had
There he
this
is.
ready.
Give him just a minute.
I'm putting the thing in the wrong thing.
Yeah, you have a problem with that, don't you?
Oh, God. Oh, Lord.
Oh, look, he's smiling.
Oh, put your sunglasses back on. You look better.
The more you can cover your face.
I can't hear him.
Is he tell
Putting the
There
camera
we go.
down. Putting the camera down by your belly button and shooting up is not a good look.
Oh, that's
Are we live?
We are live. Yes. We're,
Okay, cool. Good morning.
Make him
So-
go back where the ears are behind his head.
Yeah, I want
to
you
your
to
left a
step
little.
to your left.
No, the other
You're the
way.
left.
Make the pumpkins behind your.
Stops. Keep going. Keep,
One
keep
more
going.
step.
Keep
Other
going.
way.
That's right. No, other direction. Other direction.
Your other left.
Other left. Oh my God! What's the matter
Tom,
with you?
we want to
Move.
see the pumpkins over your head.
Come on, keep
like
going.
ears.
Keep a little bit. Stop. Stop.
No.
No. Stop. Over. Stop. There you go. There you go.
He looks like one of the Olsons with those little knots on his head.
How you doing, Craig?
I can't hear you.
That's enough. Bye, Tom.
Oh wait, you can't hear us? Why can't he
Wait
hear
a
us?
minute.
How can you answer us and say no if you can't hear us?
Can you hear us now, Tom?
There we go.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, cool.
So how you doing, Tom?
I am well. I'm a bit hungover. Last night was the last night of the Diamond Celebration. Today begins our 3-day off season. Friday starts Halloween time. So
Okay,
we've got
it
like
really
2 days.
does. I'm sorry, it really does look like the giant head of Tom Bell is attacking Disneyland right now,
You need longer arms, Tom.
I know I do.
and a soapbox to stand on. Oh,
Yes.
There we go.
there we go.
He
So,
looks really short. Though.
so you were saying
It's like
last night was the last
sorry.
night of the Diamond
Is
Celebration.
Tom traveling with his mom?
Yeah, yesterday was the end of the Diamond Celebration. Friday, Halloween time starts, so it's kind of a weird mix down Main Street right now with pumpkins all over, but still we got the blue bunting and some of the light poles and stuff are still Diamond Celebration. But overnight, it was a big change.
Winter's coming. Winter's coming.
Sorry, Tom. You just look like your mom is holding the camera for you, and you're walking down the street.
Like you're holding her hand.
Yeah. Like, okay, that's better. That's better. But it's just with the angle of the people next to you, you holding the camera.
Sorry, guys.
That movie where Martin Short is the child. Like,
Note to self, never agree to this.
when does the Haunted Mansion Holiday open?
Haunted Mansion Holiday and Space Mountain Ghost Galaxy will open on Friday.
Oh, so they are doing Ghost Galaxy.
Yes. So
All right,
last night was also the last Hyperspace Mountain, at least for a while.
No.
Also, Friday starts what they're calling late checkout for Tower of Terror, where after dark you can ride Tower of Terror completely in the dark.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, right. So that goes through January when it closes to be made over to Guardians of the Galaxy.
How do you feel about that, Tom? How do you feel about the Guardians of the Galaxy makeover?
The only thing I'm excited about is that we're gonna finally get random ride drops.
Oh.
We're gonna get random soundtracks. So it's gonna be an awesome attraction. But I really like our Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
So it's going to pick random songs from the movie soundtrack then, right? When you drop? Is that what it's going to be?
Exactly.
That's interesting.
Let's ask him.
yeah.
Hey, Tom.
So where are you headed, Tom?
To the bathrooms,
I was
apparently.
gonna
by
go
this
see if
pace.
I could get the castle in the shot. I know it's hard to get our big castle in the shot, but
Because it's so
I'll try.
tiny. And, well, you're right there with it, though.
Is it
And if you
returned?
had started there,
Is it returned back to normal, or did they still have the diamond stuff?
The roof is still got the sparkles on it, but they took down the 60.
Yeah.
They took down some of the buntings. I'm almost there.
So next time, don't start so far away.
Yeah, no, sorry. Well, I wanted to get the big pumpkin.
He wanted the
shot,
pumpkin. I like the pumpkin. Good work, pumpkin.
Up.
Oh,
he
that's
sucks.
scary.
Oh, hold on. There's the. Wait, show us
There's
the
the
fake
Matterhorn.
Matterhorn. Show us the pretend
Oh,
Matterhorn.
Matterhorn?
Yeah.
Missed it.
Oh, okay, that's all right.
Was it moving too fast?
Oh, Lord.
Sounded like he just fell.
Yeah, really.
tell your mom to not walk so fast.
You got to turn a little bit more, Tom.
We can't see.
Got to turn some more.
By the way,
Keep going. About
There
there
you
it is.
Matterhorn.
The real
let's
one's
get the castle.
much more impressive.
This is a fun stroll.
There's the castle. I see it.
There's a
There it
person.
is.
There's a person.
There's a man dressed like Teresa.
Hold it up higher. I want to see the top of the castle.
Show us the tip.
Yeah.
Oh. Just the tip, Tom. Just the tip.
Tip it up a bit, Tom.
So
Tip it up.
they still
Tip
have
it.
those.
There you go.
Well, I don't know what they're called, but those blue.
Turrets.
The buntings.
Is that it? Is that the buntings? Those will come down too eventually, right?
Yeah, they'll change out the bunting that's on the drawbridge. Yeah, that'll come down.
What time did the park close last night?
Midnight, and it was open for early entry at 9 this morning.
Oh wow, that's a quick turnover.
Yeah, exactly. They decorated all of Main Street. All the pumpkins are up. The big pumpkin's up. The pumpkins are up around the partner statue.
And none of
They
that
did
was
a
up
lot
last
of
night?
work last night.
Oh,
Here
okay.
comes the band.
We're in the tree.
Whoa, what was that?
That's just soundtrack that follows him.
Oh yeah, let's.
Run over.
We don't have a marching band.
You timed that real well. Just that one beat. Sounds like a Casio keyboard right
Yeah,
now.
really.
I think that's Tom's heart from running through the park.
Anybody want a churro?
How about
That's right. I
that?
had my first churro.
Tom, is the Day of the Dead
I want
stuff
you.
up?
Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go up to the churro cart, and I want you to ask them, "Do you have any rainbow churros?"
I want you to pronounce it Kuro. I'd like to order a Kuro,
A
please.
rainbow. You want a rainbow churro? I'm not kidding.
Excuse me, Rainbow Kuro? Just add a thick accent. You're swarthy enough.
When they try and correct you, keep pronouncing it Kuro.
Oh, there's a line though.
In my country.
There's a line, yeah.
Oh, just pretend you're German and get ahead of everybody.
Oh my!
Oh,
It's Kevin at Dreams Unlimited.
I just spent 3 weeks in Europe. Germans don't like lines.
Teresa asked about Day of the Dead. I think
Yeah.
that starts on Friday as well, and that's usually in Frontierland.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
Tom, go
cool.
up to the garbage can and talk to it,
When I was there.
and see if you can get other people.
Alan over there.
See if it comes. See if it
Keep
comes
screaming,
back.
are you Push?
Scream out loud. I am Tom Bell.
Don't you know who I am?
Don't you know who I am? Just yell that into the trash can. Push. Don't you know who I am?
Okay, I vote that we let Oliver do this from now on.
No, I no.
I've seen if there's any characters out in
Not many people out.
Fantasy Fair, but it doesn't look like it. Oh my goodness.
so how long you out in Disneyland for?
Just for I got here yesterday. I'll go back tomorrow. I might come back next week to check out the Halloween stuff, and then I'm back for the Halloween party on the 23rd. Our Halloween party doesn't start until the 23rd, so
Oh, okay.
You got a special new parade this year too, huh?
we have the Frightfully Fun Parade. From what I hear, it's not a full parade, but better than our cavalcade that we used to have.
Do you guys do the fireworks show there too for that?
Yeah, there's Halloween Screams Fireworks that's hosted by is it Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas.
I'm familiar.
So,
I'm familiar.
and the new parade it sounds like it has bits and pieces from your parade with the Haunted Mansion and the Gravediggers, but also has bits of Nightmare Before Christmas in it. So,
Find that person all dressed in pink and interview them,
Yeah.
please.
So that person with the say something hat and pink.
Madam, please.
So, all right.
all right,
We are going to let you go, Tom.
all right.
Thanks
Bye,
for
guys.
calling in. We'll talk to you soon.
Have a
Take
great
care.
day.
All right,
Bye.
enjoy Disneyland.
Thanks.
That was fun.
That was fun.
Tom and his mom. That was nice of them to let us
That
join
was
in
very
their
nice.
time
Tom's
together.
mom to take him to the park.
I feel bad for the people who are listening because they're not. If you're listening to
Please
this
go
and not
watch this
watching,
segment.
it's not going to play well.
No.
You really need, if you just do nothing else at some point, just come back and watch that segment and you'll get the joke. But I'll tell you, who said that first? Who said that? It's Tom's mother holding the
I said it
camera.
was
Be Mr. Mayfair.
Okay, because we all lost it. We all completely lost it.
Tom was holding his cell phone up too high.
Right.
So it looked like he was the...
an the angle of
4
everybody in the
foot
street.
tall,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
It's like a child holding his mother's hand.
so he went from the giant head down to the toddler.
So, all right. Well, thank you, Tom, for
If
that.
you're German and you're going to write to me, I was just joking.
You okay, Craig? You look a little. I don't know. That tired you out.
I cried
That was
with that joke.
That was
I
funny.
never cry.
That was very, very, very funny.
Tom missed his calling as one of the Ewoks in our Star Wars celebration, unfortunately. So maybe that's
All right, let's go ahead and move on to rapid fire, and we will start with you, Mr. Magi.
All right. Holiday Magic Package Offer. Discounts available most days, November 6th through December 21st. Just another package out there, just another way to promote this. Agents are not finding anything too fantastic with this pricing. It's just another way for Disney to sort of get more commercials out there, in my opinion. Select dates, November 6th through December 21st, Sunday through Thursday in a standard room. Rates will vary depending on resort, room type, and dates of travel. Book by October 8th, 2016. And as far as I know, I don't know if there's any availability issues on this. I think it's Disney is not filling their resorts and they're just trying to do anything they can to get
Well,
people to go.
what did I say? What did I say? What was going to happen the rest of the year? What did I say was going to happen a month ago? I was right. Next.
All right, that's it for my rapid fire.
Thanks, John.
I want to thank everybody who traveled with us on this trip.
Absolutely. What a
It is-
great group.
It is. And we thank you for supporting our Disney exclusive trips. They are always a great deal of fun, and we always have. It's more fun together. We're better together.
Amen. And we've got some interesting ideas for 2018.
We do.
This is what happens when Pete, John, and Kevin travel on a bus together for 4 hours.
Yeah, really.
Start brainstorming.
Do you want to go to Saturn?
Exactly. What are you all giggling about?
You going into space
No, you guys have some pretty big stuff you got to do. 2018
to go to space?
Wow.
to make me money.
I'm willing to send Oliver to any street corner we have to get you paid, John. Just letting you know that.
I am not taking it nickels at a time. It's just not worth it.
I'm prepared to become a madam for you, Oliver.
Oh boy.
Become?
Thank you, Kevin.
All right, thank you, Kevin. Teresa.
All right, mine's not going to make you any money, John. Sorry.
Gonna make somebody else money.
Right, it's going to make us.
I'm used to it with you, Teresa.
I know, right? Everybody knows, or if you don't know, I work out at our Welcome Center at Port Canaveral. We found a new restaurant, opened up in May. It's called Graham's Smokehouse, 6006 North Atlantic, so it's just a little bit farther away from the port than we are, about 3 or 4 blocks.
She said I work out.
I work
I
out.
thought she meant
I do work
she
out.
exercise.
I
And we're
exercise,
talking
can't
about
you
a
tell?
smokehouse.
All the
I
time.
just got it. You work out in Port Canaveral.
I work out. I do. I don't work. I work out. Okay. Anyway, we've had breakfast and lunch here, and both have been awesome. All different kinds of barbecue. The breakfast is good. French toast is amazing. Fried green tomatoes are pretty good. Reasonable prices.
tomatoes.
Not as good as mine still, but it's the closest to mine. Anyway, new place. So go before or after your cruise.
How far from the port?
What are we, about 3 miles from the port? Maybe 3.5, if that.
Yeah. Right
Okay.
there.
This is just like 2 minutes from the office, so it's right there.
What's it called?
Graham's Smokehouse.
Graham's Smokehouse.
Yeah, it's a family run. You go in. We went in there Saturday morning for breakfast before work, and yes, we went early, so we opened the office at the right time, John. And the place.
I guess she has her lies all lined up.
We got to get him in line. And the place is just—it's all family members running it. It's kind of cool.
That's cool.
You know, I spoke to one of the owners, one of the Grahams. There's a grandfather, a father, and then the son and his daughters, and they're all.
I thought it was
cool.
Graham, like Grandma. I didn't realize their
No,
last
Grahams.
name was Graham.
Grahams.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
They own several places right along there. So anyway, it's cool. Try it out. We have.
Awesome. All right, thank you, Teresa. Ryan.
Hi.
So Hocus Pocus apparel is returning, or is currently on the Disney Parks online store, but only until the 11th. So that is this upcoming Sunday, I believe. But they have re-released these. Pete, I see you in the center one in the future here. They're the 3
I love that.
Sanderson sisters. They're the prints of their dresses on T-shirts. But then new this year, they also have a Billy one. Billy was the zombie that Winifred called out of the dead. And then I like the other one too. There's one that's like a stylized, I don't know this type of style, but it's like very, I don't know, it's got like the roof of the house on the top. It's got the broom, the cat, Sarah's in the moonlight, and it says amok, 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 and then it says Hocus Pocus on the bottom. You know, because
Very typography.
from the movie typography, yeah. Not the movie typography, the movie Hocus Pocus, but what you said, Craig. But they also said, please allow 3 to 5 weeks for delivery, so you'll get your package just in time for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's a thing. Sometimes I order these shirts. I mean, I'm really happy they're doing this. I really am happy they're doing the special merch. They got a lot of really good stuff they've been putting out. Sometimes I get it in a couple days. Sometimes I get it in a couple months. So I don't know what the,
If you haven't checked it out, though, Craig put up a video on our YouTube channel of the merchandise for the Halloween merchandise, and some of it has the exclusive party merchandise, right?
No.
No? Where did the Hocus Pocus ornament come from?
That's on Oliver's video that we will be showing in just a short bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, my friend texted me out of state and was like, I need that Hocus Pocus ornament. And I was like, where did you see it? And she said, your website.
Yes, it's on the Halloween party
It's on the video.
Oh, okay. Then never mind. Then there's in the video. You can check out some of the Halloween merchandise. That includes a Hocus Pocus ornament I wish I had gotten.
We shouldn't start that conversation, don't
Yeah, sure do. Sure do.
All right, thank you, Rhino. Olive.
Hello. Yes, my rapid fire is about Princess Jasmine and her new dress. Princess Jasmine has got a new dress that's a lot more conservative. It was debuted at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
You're going to say not so hairy?
Did I say not so hairy? Not so
You were going for it.
Scary.
It is
Yeah,
a
it's
Newsweek, isn't it?
it really is, but there's people online are really reacting to this in
like it
in a
or
mixed
no?
fashion.
Do they need to get
No,
out of
they
the
don't.
house once in a while?
They-
If this is important to you, if the Princess Jasmine's new dress is important to you,
It was the trending thread today.
It
Was it really?
Yeah. It's, people
So
are.
they're not out of the house, they're on the computer.
I mean, they're upset. There's many reasons. There's a lot of speculation why they've done it. Number one being it's more conservative. People were complaining that her stomach was on show.
Good lord. Maybe it's her winter outfit.
That's exactly what other people have said. But she already had a winter outfit.
As
so,
you need in the Middle East.
Yeah, right.
You need your winter see-through outfit.
It shouldn't really be a shock that she's getting this new dress. It kind of looks like it's more in line with some of the other new dresses we've seen, like from was it Milan? Craig had a new dress as well, and it looks to me it looks like the same designer. So I just think it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
like it.
Sure. Whatever you say, Oliver.
you pay a lot of attention to this, don't you?
When he drinks.
What's the
I'm not-
fabric?
Why is this?
What kind of fabric is it?
I don't know.
Does it feel good against
Trying
your
to get,
skin?
get it away from the.
Why would you ask Oliver, Teresa?
I don't know. It's his.
Because John wanted to know if it
rapid
felt good against his skin.
Do you feel like a lady when you wear it?
I just spin around and call myself pretty over and over again.
Pretty girl, pretty girl.
Oliver, you can still wear your shirt up under your armpits like you usually do.
Hey, look, they didn't stop me when I was walking in the Halloween party like that. So
All right, thank you, Oliver. Gregory.
Okay. My rapid fire this week is that House of Blues will be hosting 2 craft beer events this September at Disney Springs. So the first one will be September.
Okay, just how much of how many more stereotypes are going to go on back in the Nook? Oliver addresses this one in beer.
I like how his cup is empty.
It's not my cup.
Let's take a picture. Wait, I drank most of it already.
I'm going to have to get another one.
So the first event, September 10th, from 1 o'clock to 10 o'clock p.m. That will be showcasing Florida musicians as well as different craft beer breweries, 15 of them to be precise. And it's called Local Brews, Local Grooves. The next event is on the 25th, and it will be featuring Big Storm Brewery and doing some samples and some flights available. There isn't a cost to show up to the Big Storm Brewing Untapped event. For the Local Brews and Local Grooves, that is an $11 admission price, and then $3 for samples if you want that after that, which is a whole reason to go. And there's a VIP package available that's all-inclusive for people who would prefer to do things that way. Also, should we mention Steve at all?
Yeah.
Why?
Are we going to...
Why?
A lot of people were asking about Steve.
I've changed my mind. He's
He
not
was in
coming
that
back.
Disneyland
Oh, he's
video.
already moved and everything. That's kind of mean.
Yeah, it's how it goes. You know, he's young and needs to learn these lessons now. You know,
You thought we were serious?
life is full of disappointments.
He's not even watching the show today, so that
No,
says a lot.
Steve will be starting next Monday.
Yay.
He was going to start this week, but we've got FAM with our Dreams agents this week, and so I just felt it was easier for him to start on Monday.
Oliver, you've been a wonderful temp.
Yes.
yeah, have I got to go now?
Back
So-
to
We're
the
gonna
Princess
exercise-
Jasmine
Just
dress.
kidding.
We're going to exercise our Brexit vote.
I also have one more going on. Just wanted to give people a heads up. I should have did it in housekeeping. Connecting with Walt will be returning in October on a brand new feed. It will be all by itself from now, not on the Disney World one. So once that is available, you will have to subscribe there to get the latest episodes. Got a couple good ones coming up this month, including an interview with Floyd Norman. So for Disney animators, animation fans out there, you will know who he is. So
Awesome.
there's that.
Skippy has manners.
And
What?
Thank you for that random comment. I meant to do this at the beginning of the show, and I forgot. I just want to I said this to him privately. I want to say it to him here on the show. What a great job you did, Craig, hosting the show for me the last couple weeks. You really did. You really did an awesome job. You all did. The stuff I saw coming out of the Halloween party was amazing. If you folks have not had a chance to check out the content that has gone up on our YouTube channel from the Halloween party, it really, in my opinion, it's the best we've ever done. These guys did an awesome job. Rhino's Diz Pop this week about doing the costume. Your own Halloween costume was fantastic. It was really,
Thank you.
Really, I got to tell you, when you're away and you're traveling like that and you're on vacation, knowing that not just is everything getting done, but these guys are out there coming up with ideas of let's do this and how about we try that, and it makes me feel good that they feel like they have that freedom and the ability to take some risks and put themselves out there and produce this amazing content that they produce. You guys did a phenomenal job this week, and I just want to let you know how appreciative I am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So with that, let's kind of pivot over from Rapid Fire to the Halloween party, because Oliver, Craig, Teresa, and Rhino, along with Kathy, who's not here, and Corey, who's not feeling well. He's under the weather. That's why he's not here today. All had a chance to do it last Friday. And so why don't, I'm going to throw it over to you, Craig, and let you take it from there.
Yeah, so of course, for anyone out here who's watching for the first time, doesn't know anything about Disney, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is a paid event. So it is a hard ticket event that costs extra on top of whatever park admission you already have. It's held on select nights in September and October, and it has some exclusive things, including merchandise, the Happy Hallowishes fireworks show, the Boo to You Halloween parade, as well as trick-or-treating in the parks, and just some extra more fun. So before we start getting into our thoughts on this year's event, Oliver put together a great little overview of the first night there. So let's go ahead and show that.
This was the only thing I didn't like about the I'm kidding.
Okay, can I just say before I need to say something here. This event, Craig was like, I didn't know going into the event that we had to get the videos up as quickly as possible, but Craig told me, and I was like, okay, it's fine. I'll get to bed, like, I don't know, maybe 2 a.m. I didn't get to bed until like 5.
That went up at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, in the morning. So if you like it or not, like, just think of the effort that went into that. Like, it's not even my favorite video, but I still put a lot of like very sleepy effort into that.
Yeah,
so.
we think you're pretty. Just show the video.
So that was just a little bit of a look at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
Very
and
good job on that, Ollie.
Now I'm watching it back, I'm seeing some problems with it myself, but you always criticise your own work, I suppose.
No,
so.
that was your first party though too, so you kind of went into that not knowing what to expect, you know.
That's very true. It was my first
Does
party.
he always
Very
require this much stroking?
He does.
He does.
I
Oh, soundbite.
yes.
Yeah, no, it was a great job. So,
Wow, you're tall and thin.
Thank you.
so yeah, the party. It was good. This year's event was not much different than last year's. I know we kind of say that every single year. We have the fortune of getting to go every single year and actually covering it. I realize that some people only go once every couple years, so it's a little bit more fresh for them, but this is just our perspective on it. So,
And here's the deal: people want it to be almost the same.
Yeah.
People have that memory, and they want to go and they want to experience that. You know, they want a little bit of difference, but you want to see the headless horseman, and you want to see the grave diggers in the parade and all that stuff.
Well, the thing was for me is I loved the Sanderson sisters addition to the castle show last year. That I wanted that show again because we watched it so many times last year. But I would keep watching that show.
That's
again
very
and again,
popular.
You know?
That
Yeah.
turned out to be extraordinarily popular.
I love it. The sound, the way they worked in all the story and the songs and everything. For me, it's great. I hope that stays around for years.
yeah, and this year they did just a slight bit of tweak on that show. So they updated the projection system onto the castle itself. So it's just a bit more flashier. The show has a little bit more energy than it had in previous years. In terms of other changes, this year, it was kind of the buzz last week that was going into it was the rumors of Vanellope von Schweetz taking over Goofy's candy float that he's been on for every single parade the past however many years, and the rumor was in fact true, and she took it over, and I could care less.
Was Wreck-It Ralph's car new
There
too?
was rioting.
Because he had like a truck.
Rioting.
Yeah, he was in a truck before. I think this one they finally changed up the details on it.
Okay.
And spiffed it up a little bit more. So, but other than that, for the parade, it was your typical.
So Goofy was always the last, right? At the end.
Yeah, he
And
would
they,
like,
ride
shot
by
out the
at the
candy
end.
or-
Right. And they
And-
put her, she wasn't at the end. They kind of moved her up, gave her a little tricycle.
How'd the candy go, Rhino?
Shut up.
Yeah, I was
Jazz.
a little taken
jazz
aback
hands.
by that.
Candy.
Before they would end the parade handing out candy, they'd have their satchels and pass it along, and they did not do that anymore. So maybe they
I
just
didn't like
have
her.
enough
I
candy.
didn't like her. I don't think she belongs there.
It was weird too. Like this, I know
just seemed
Sarah
weird
Silverman said
to
she
me.
recorded the audio, but it was I don't know. It was. It's right.
I don't know.
I didn't feel weird. I felt
At times
weird,
she
too.
was pedaling too fast and it looked really manic, and then other times she wasn't pedaling at all and the float was flying by and it just kind of, I don't know. She needs to work on it. Sorry.
You are watching very, very closely at the speed of her pedaling.
That was
Talk about Jasmine's dress again.
It was oddly observant of you.
Well, I was sitting there waiting for the Sanders and sisters to come out. I had my spot staked out for the next show,
Yeah.
and I turned around.
People
there she
are
was.
rude to us.
So, all right. So, tell me. Obviously, there's been, as you mentioned, some changes this year, which is nice because it was starting to get a little too consistent. But what, for each of you, each of the four of you, what was your number one highlight from?
It's
Actually, no. Let's do it this way. What was your number one low light? What didn't you like?
I've got one. Okay, so and I noticed this last year when we were covering the show parade fireworks. Everything is in that triangle. It's all Main Street and the hub, and then you kind of get out into the rest of the park. And in years past, I never really had that feeling that I was funneled into that one area. And I know that hasn't changed at all, but for some reason last year and even more so this year is that I feel like that party is a lot of. Yes, they do two parades. Yes, they do multiple shows, just the one fireworks show. But it feels like a lot of just kind of standing there for a while, and then I have to run around really fast at the very end to go get candy or other parts of the park. But there's nothing really happening in the other parts of the park except for that one dance party that's got some of the Monsters Inc. And then there's just kind of these projections that are, meh.
Well, I used to complain about that too, that there weren't things going on in other parts of the park. But then somebody pointed out that a big part of the party is that you're getting access to all the rides when the crowds are technically a lot lower than it is during during a normal day. So you have all the the fireworks, the stage show, the parade, the trick or treat location. So that kind of brings that Halloween piece in, and then you have the park. And what I assume are lower than average lines, at least historically.
Yeah, they were definitely lower this year. I know. First, we ran into just a massive amount of listeners.
Oh my gosh,
this
every 2
event,
feet.
almost to the point there was more talking to listeners than there was of actually going around and doing things. But of course, we always appreciate that. It was so nice to
Sounds
meet
like
so
you
many
didn't
new
appreciate
people.
it too much that night.
Really?
Oh no, I
Just
really
taking
did.
that for granted.
I've got to say about the listeners, please come up and talk to us. This happened to me. So to get the most coverage for the party, we all split up at points and go and get different things. That's how we managed to cover it so well. So I'll be walking around the park by myself for a good 30 minutes. People would say my name as I walked by them, and then wouldn't stop. They'd just say my name. They'd be like, Oliver, and I'd be like, oh, hello, and just wouldn't stop. And I'd be like, how do you know me?
I had that.
Okay, he's hearing things again.
How do you know me? Don't you remember me? That special night we had. Yeah, okay. I had people.
All right, that's your low
Yeah,
light.
that's my low light.
Teresa, what about you? What
My
didn't
low
you
light
like?
was some of the crowd was a little pushy, But, yeah.
Tell your story.
Right on
I came
crowd.
away with a bruise on my arm. Some woman. Oh, I'm not going to go into details, but we were leaving. We had just seen the castle show, and the crowd. You know how everybody turns and immediately disperses to go do what they got to do before the next thing happens. And there was some just freakishly pushy people that I got in the middle of, and it was like we were trying to board the subway in some foreign country. It was just horrible. I mean, I just felt bad, and I'm not going to go into more
She
details.
shoved a woman to the ground.
I did not shove her down. She fell on her own as I was trying to stand my ground. Okay.
As she had Grace get behind her on all fours, and she pushed her over. I don't know how she fell.
So there was lesbian mud wrestling?
No, it was more like elderly.
Oh, so you're throwing... you're throwing-
lady down?
Wait till
She
tells
was.
you the
She
rest.
bruised me. I'm not going to tell the rest.
No, I don't. Yeah.
I won't tell the rest.
Wow, I can't.
Oh,
wait.
I can't wait till we're done.
No, no.
Aren't you sorry you started this conversation? I
No,
asked him
other
that.
than the fact that it's just so crowded in the hub area.
Yeah.
It was just, there was no pleasure there. Once you're watching the show and all of that, that's good. But once it's done,
There was no
it's-
pleasure until she threw an old woman to the ground. Then there was joy.
Show us your bruise.
She sent me. She
I sent
sent
a
me a
picture.
photo.
I'll show you the picture
She
later.
told me the story because I saw her immediately afterwards.
Afterwards,
she
I was
just came
still
up and
shaking. I came up
yeah,
and-
she's like, I can't believe this just happened. And I'm thinking like, oh no, she's exaggerating. But then when you told me the woman fell to the ground, and then you showed me the photo afterwards, I couldn't believe. Like
Yeah,
she had a pretty big
The
bruise.
next day bruise, yeah.
Wow.
Anyway.
Okay.
The crowds kind of brought me down.
All right, so crowds for you.
Yeah.
Oliver, what about you?
This was my first party, so I was impressed by a lot of things, including the amount of entertainment they've got. That's one thing they really do hit on the head. The thing that I feel like they kind of missed out on, which they could have done, was some sort of a castle projection show that is exclusive to the Halloween party. Everything else is exclusive: the fireworks, the stage show, but the castle projection show is just the normal projection show you see whether you're there or not. So I just feel like it's, even if they spruced it up slightly, it'd be nice. It's just, yeah, it just feels like a bit of a miss, to be honest. Like, that was the only thing to me that I felt
But
just didn't fit.
as a first timer, do you feel it was worth, what is it, $80 for the ticket?
Yeah, there was like $72 per person.
$72. As
Yeah.
a first timer, do you think that was worth $72 for you?
Based purely on the entertainment, yes. Like, there's so much to offer everyone. It depends what you're after. If you want to walk on attractions, you can do that at the party. If you want to just go trick-or-treating, you can do that. For me, I could see the value that, $70-something just alone in the entertainment. The fireworks are absolutely breathtaking.
They're incredible, aren't they?
And aren't they just? I love
my
the
favorites, I
perimeter
think.
fireworks that they do. It's just, yeah, it's crazy how they do that. Very frustrating if you're like me and Craig and live behind Magic Kingdom, because some of the roads get closed off, but they look nice. So, and the stage show, the whole Sanderson Sisters stage show, very, very good. So, yeah, just on the entertainment. Everything else is a bonus. The entertainment alone, I feel, covers the ticket price, definitely.
Awesome. Craig, what about you?
Okay, I'm going to give you a hit a miss and a secret. So my hit.
Should I brace myself?
Yes, please. The hit, they have, I think it's a new sponsorship for their candy this year, and it was some good candy. The first thing after you picked up your bag, they had a nice little treat bag that had like Snickers Crunchy, different flavored Skittles, like more premium candy than in years past. So
In like a baggie, all prepared for you.
See,
It was like going to the rich neighborhoods when you were a kid and getting all the
I
candy.
missed that though. That's at the front of the park
Yeah.
too, and I didn't see it when I came in, and so you didn't get that if you unless you got it at
Unless
the
you
front.
So
came
this
through
year
the-
now, whenever before the parties officially started at 7, if you're one of the 4 o'clockers, they are now opening up the Main Street bypass on the Tomorrowland side of Main Street. So they'll have special decorations set up there. That's where you'll receive your bags. And
So
get
just
extra
to clarify for people, when he talks about the 4 o'clockers, if you're not familiar with what he's talking about, when you buy a Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, you can get into the park at 4 o'clock. So you can get in early before the party starts, go ride things. What a lot of people do is they don't have a park hopper day. They don't use a day on their regular pass that day. And this is their Magic Kingdom day because you pay extra for it.
Yep.
But
as Teresa said, the candy, this year, it felt like every candy stop was like going to the rich neighborhoods and getting the good full-size candy bars. They weren't full-size, but I did feel like they were stepped up a little bit. My miss in terms of the event, I think I finally figured out my problem with it this year. It's that 5 hours from 7 o'clock to midnight. It feels too short for me. I think they could benefit by extending it to 1 or 2.
Oh, I agree.
Just
I agree
a little
completely,
bit.
yeah.
Because, you're missing out on a lot of the meet and greet experiences if you want to.
You can't do it all in that
Yeah.
time.
They
You
have
can't.
made some changes, like Jack Skellington and Sally. They were available to start meeting at 5 o'clock. But then, that's not.
Well, you
being
make a
told
really good
anywhere.
point because the first parade that we waited for was at what time? It was
It
at
was
like
at
8:15,
8:30.
8:30.
8:30.
And you got to get there a little bit early to get your spot. Obviously, if you want a really good spot, then immediately after that is the show, but then the fireworks. So all that said and done, your chunk of time that's blocked off is probably 8 till 11 o'clock at least. So then you only have that small window of an hour, and you're going to meet like what 1-2 characters. That's if you don't go around and get candy and stuff like that. So I agree with you.
And talking about the candy, they have a special blue bag that you can request if you have allergy issues.
I believe it's teal.
Is it teal?
Teal.
Okay, it looked blue to me. Teal. Anyway, it just looks like a little gift bag. It doesn't say anything about Halloween. Kathy got one that night just to see what they were going to offer. And 2 of the places they gave her a little token, looked like a chip from from Vegas, and and then several of the places she went to, they just put candy in her bag and didn't even question it. And she's like, "Well, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to get this." And they didn't take it
What
back.
is it specifically for? Like nut allergies?
It's any
or-
kind of gluten, whatever your thing is.
Whatever
And
your
then
dietary
And then
restriction
you take
is.
your token, your little bag of tokens, up to a special location, and then you redeem them for special things.
Heritage House and Town Square Theater.
Okay.
Which
are the
is
2
a
places.
brilliant
Oh, yeah.
way to do it. So if you have a child with an allergy, they can still go to the
Yeah.
trick-or-treat locations, get the tokens, and feel like they're getting something and they're participating. Whereas before this, guest services would just like kind of walk you over to the candy store and let you pick out a few
Right.
things.
That's
Or
kind of
they would give you raisins.
Yeah.
right.
So
But
this
they need to
is-
work on it a little bit because there were a couple of the treat stations they didn't have tokens and they were just kind of weren't sure what to do. So,
Yeah.
but they'll tweak it out, I'm sure.
So my secret then is, it's not a secret because it's listed right in the park map and the entertainment. No one ever really pays attention to the Cadaver Dance, the Halloween version of the Dapper Dance they perform. It's one of the coolest little forms of entertainment that most people just walk on by. And of course, they're extremely talented. So
What do they sing? for the
they'll
Halloween?
sing some songs from like Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh,
Other folk songs, some country western songs. Just
Ghost
in-
Rider?
and-
Do they sing Ghost
Yes.
Rider? Okay.
Yeah. So I love watching them every year. They're much better in Disneyland because they would take them out on the rivers of America and light up the
Oh.
entire river with smoke and lighting projections. But they're still really fun to watch here. So overall, you asked Oliver about the money, if it would be worth money. Actually, this year I do walk away saying for the price we paid in the beginning of September, Yeah. However, they've also gone on the tiered pricing this year for the Halloween party. So you're looking at, I believe, over $100 on Halloween night and right up to it. That's a little extreme, I think. But if you're on one of the lower end party dates earlier in the year, it was a good year for it. They're on
I think
point.
it's well worth it because Stella won't go into the parks when it's on a regular basis. So this is the one time that we go to the parks with her because she likes it. She can get on the rides rather quickly. And, you know, if I keep her off Main Street, then we're good to go with the crowds.
So, highlights then. Favorite thing, Teresa?
Hocus Pocus, the show,
Really?
without a doubt. I could sit there all night and watch it
I
over and
honestly,
over.
I would. That's my highlight too, because I would go every single day and just watch that show.
Yeah.
I
That good.
literally I was so tired. They had that midnight show. They even had a surprise show for us on the first
Which
night.
freaked me out.
Because we
Yeah.
were like, "Oh God, the schedule's wrong," and then they had a surprise one. And as I'm leaving, I'm like, "I'm so tired," but I was like, "But I have to see them do it one more time." Like, you know, I
Because
don't
it's
know
so
what it is.
good.
It's just they're so funny. And they nailed it. They nailed those characters like interacting in a way where it feels new, but also like the movie.
Familiar, yeah.
Yeah.
People singing along.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's
It's
pretty
cute.
cool.
Oliver?
I would say, obviously, the entertainment it really is out of this world. But one of the things I found myself really enjoying was Main Street, because one of my biggest complaints was that the theming kind of stayed just there. But what they did there was absolutely fantastic. Like all throughout the night, they had like the traditional Disney like Halloween songs pumping in, which were great. And all down Main Street, like the lights at the side, they were almost choreographed to go with the music. So I spent a lot of time in Main Street, like waiting for the parade, waiting for other things that we
Someone to
had
notice
to go.
you.
Oliver. A few times. It's
Just throwing out business cards to everybody.
It's
I'm Oliver T-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, seen it.
but yeah, no, I love that. I really, it was very, very immersive, very enjoyable. Yeah, I'd say just what they did with Main Street.
Okay. Craig?
Yeah, I actually have to agree with Oliver. And if you watched Rhinos, really good. What we love about the or whatever it was called, our favorite things.
Yeah, our favorite things.
Of the Halloween party. I said Main Street. There's something about the older I get, I appreciate the decorations and just the whole atmosphere of it more than necessarily the fireworks or the parade or the shows. I just love being enveloped in that Halloween environment. So, it's one of those times where if you have to just sit on Main Street and watch people leaving at the end of the night, but you get to enjoy the music and the decorations, that's a perfect way to end out a party. So.
One of the things as well that has just come to me, and I can't finish the show without pointing it out. During the actual parade itself, they have some very interesting floats that I've never seen before, just because it's my first time at the Halloween party, and I enjoyed very much the Haunted Mansion float that they have that has the three ghosts on there, the
Isn't that
hitchhiking
cool?
ghosts, and just these people that work in entertainment have nailed it. Like they were on it with that parade. It was it blows the regular parades out of the water, and I think it probably comes down to the fact that they enjoy doing it. They're doing the other parade, so often that it becomes laborious. But this, it just felt like they were really, bringing their A game.
I like the Christmas party better, but I like the Halloween parade the best.
I have to go back because you had your menu, your map on the table, and I didn't know this thing that they had these specialty foods there. There's candy corn soft serve ice cream.
yes, you didn't have that?
No, we got to go back.
We got to go back.
Yeah.
Well, I have to go. I have, I didn't get to do it last year, and
Oh,
I'm
you
not
got it.
going to.
Then we got it. You got to see that show.
I'm not going to miss it. Not going to miss it this year. So overall, at the end of the day, worth it.
Oh yeah,
yes.
It's my favorite thing they do all year.
All right, so
Yes.
that was pretty overwhelming there, because that's the question we get asked all the time. Is it really worth it to spend the money to do the party? And especially if you're using it as a replacement day on your park hopper, it's absolutely worth it. So there you have it. That's our take on this year's Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. That will also do it for this episode of our show. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be back with you again next Tuesday with another edition of the Diz Unplugged. Thanks for being with us, folks, and remember, stay out of the damn lakes. Have a good week.